Journal Record editor Ted Streuli joins us to discuss other stories making headlines in business this week. Ted, as some Oklahomans are regrouping after tornadoes and flooding, an Oklahoma professor says severe weather may actually be a boost for the economy.
Well, that's right. They have some data that shows there is at least a short-term economic spike when there's a disaster of that nature because salvage yards do well, some car dealers do well, there's a lot of construction that needs to be done, that kind of thing. So it is just kind of a sudden influx of economic activity.
Oklahoma drillers have had a tough first quarter. Tell us about that.
It's been pretty bad. We know oil prices have been down for quite a while now, and this quarter they all pretty much across the board reported double-digit dips in their earnings, some as high as 44% off the same time a year ago.
Enable Midstream Partners is expanding its presence in the Texas Panhandle.
Yeah, there is a natural gas pipeline, as you might imagine, for Enable. It was an $80 million purchase from a Colorado company of an 88-mile section of pipe.
Business seems to be booming for Paycom.
Well, it really is. You know, they reported earnings this quarter of about $6 million net, up from $1.1 million at the same time a year ago. Their revenue is up about 57%, somewhere in that ballpark. So they've really taken off since they've gone public.
The search for a site for Oklahoma City's new convention center continues. What's the latest on that?
Well, there's been some arguing at the oversight, the MAPS 3 Oversight Commission there. Anthony McDermott, an architect, is distressed that Larry Nichols, a fellow member, thinks that maybe some of the park area that's planned could be used instead for the convention center site. There still is no home for the new convention center.
What are you working on for next week?
Well, thanks to the revelations about the causes of some of the earthquakes, it's becoming harder and harder to get a permit for a new saltwater injection well. We're going to take a look at how many of those permits are held up in the process at the moment.
All right, Ted Streuli, editor of the Journal Record. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.